Hey guys, happy Friday, welcome back. Today I'm filming an exciting video. I have been wanting to share this protein ball recipe probably for years now. It just has never really felt like the right time, and also I feel very protective of this recipe. It took me a long time to get the quantities exactly right, to get the flavors exactly right, even though it's such a super simple recipe. I don't know, I was just scared to share it. But I have had so many requests of people asking for this recipe. It's finally time to share it. Literally, it has 3 ingredients. You can add a few extra ingredients to modify it. Each ball is about 50 calories. They are vegan friendly, they are gluten-free, dairy-free. What more could you want? Without further ado, let's get to the recipe. 3 most important ingredients for this recipe, and the only 3 you technically need, are protein powder. Now, I use a vegan protein powder. I have used this with whey protein powder in the past, and you can. It does change the consistency a little bit. You'll find they're a little bit chewier. Sometimes I like that. So if you have whey protein, go ahead, use whey protein. I have just always preferred a vegan protein. I find it lends to a little bit of a fudgier texture, which I absolutely love. Also, in the past, when I have bought vegan or plant-based proteins that I haven't really liked the taste of very much, because let's be honest, there are a few bad ones out there, using them in this protein ball recipe has helped so much, and it's allowed me to actually get through the protein. This is the one I'm using today. It is the vegan pancake batter protein by Ghost. One of my favorites, tastes absolutely amazing on its own. I just had it in my oats about half an hour ago. Good stuff. You also want to use some dates. These are fresh medjool dates, so the ones that you'll find in the fruit and veg section in your supermarket, not the dried ones in the baking section. It is very important that they are the soft, juicy ones. You want to pit those, so you want 125 grams of pitted medjool dates. So make sure you're weighing them once you've taken the seed out. You'll also only need 30 grams of this protein powder. This whole recipe serves 12, and I'm going to sort of outline how to make them precisely so that you can adjust the quantities and so that you do get a perfect protein ball every time. The third ingredient is peanut butter, but you can use any nut butter. You can use almond butter. If you want to be a little bit bougie, you can use macadamia nut butter. I just use peanut butter. I find that when I use a natural peanut butter, when I get to the end, it's really like hard. You won't be able to see it on camera. You'll know what I mean if you're used to using natural nut butters. It's just like not drizzly and really hard. So I always save the bottom of my nut butter jars to use for this recipe so that I don't have to try and dig my way through it when I want it on top of my yogurt. But I've only got a little bit left in here, so I'll be using the rest of this and then a little bit of this peanut butter, again just a natural peanut butter. The 2 optional ingredients I always add to mine because I just find it really lends itself well to the flavors are pink Himalayan salt, just a little pinch. I find it brings out the sweetness of the dates and it counterbalances it a little bit. Salt is essential for me, but like I said, you don't have to add it. And then cinnamon. I absolutely love adding quite a bit of cinnamon to this, especially when I'm using the pancake batter protein, as I find the flavors work really, really well together. If you do want to make them chocolatey, this is when you can add something like cocoa powder. You can add some coconut. The possibilities are endless, and this is what I love about this recipe, because once you have the sort of staple ingredients, you can really make it your own. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get my food processor, because you will need a food processor for this recipe. A blender won't really work too well, so please, if you do have one, use that instead, or if you don't have one, maybe ask a friend if you could borrow theirs. You may have to make a few protein balls for them, but hey, that's fine. I'm going to add in all of the ingredients. I'm going to start with the dates first, then I add the protein powder, then I add the peanut butter. I'm not too sure why I do it in that order. I'm not even too sure if it does anything, but that's just how I've always done it. 125 grams of dates, 30 grams of protein powder, 30 grams of peanut butter. As simple as that. It makes 12 balls. If you measure out the balls to be 15 grams each, may seem like a little bit of a rigmarole to actually weigh them out, but if you're a macro tracker or you just want precise protein balls, best way to do it. And then you know that, say you want to make 24 protein balls, you know just to use 250 grams of dates, 60 grams of protein powder, 60 grams of peanut butter, etc., etc. food processor, I am going to blend it all up. Now the secret here is patience. I don't have a lot of patience, but what patience I do have, I use on this recipe. You'll find that within the first minute, it'll all sort of combine a little bit. And then you keep going for another minute and it'll break apart into all of these little bits. You're about to see what I'm talking about. And then it's gonna come together again. Now you wanna wait for that third time it comes together because that's when it goes super, super smooth and the texture of it is so, so good. So this is a game of patience. I'm gonna show you all 3 steps. The mixture has sort of formed itself into a sticky dough. That's the only way I can kind of describe it, which is exactly what you want. At this stage, it is smelling like happiness and dreams, which is everything I need and more today, trust me. At this point, you want a few different things. So you'll need a bowl with the mixture in there. You also want your scales, which I'm about to go get in a second. You want a little dish for when you're weighing them out, if you do decide to weigh them out. Again, you don't have to do this, you can just roll them into balls. Then you want a container to put the rolled balls in. Let's get rolling. This is when you can pop on some music, you can put on a podcast, get your groove on. I'm gonna go with some music today. Probably a little bit of Ariana Grande because I just need a little bit more pep in my step. Literally smells like maple syrup right now. These are my 12 perfectly rolled protein balls. They are so smooth, they are so fudgy. Each one of these has about 50 calories. They are high in protein. They're just really good. And honestly, the smell of these right now is just amazing. I am gonna go pop these in the freezer. Now these will store in the fridge for about a week. They will store in the freezer for a few months, but let's be honest, they're not gonna last that long in the freezer. Weirdly enough, I store mine in the freezer and I eat them directly from the freezer because they don't go hard, they go a real fudgy texture and I just absolutely love it. I've always had mine straight up from the freezer, so trust me, give that a go even if you are dubious. I'm off to go freeze these. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do try the recipe. I will have the full recipe in the description box down below. Tag me on Instagram, leave me a comment, let me know how you get on, but seriously, if there's one thing you can do right now, especially because we're all stuck up, I'm a little bit bored, it's to make this recipe. You won't regret it. I love them so much. They're almost a nostalgic thing for me now because I've made them for so many years. No matter where I've lived or no matter where I've been, these have been a staple in my diet. It feels a little bit special sharing this recipe with you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you guys on Monday for another video. Have a great weekend. Make these protein balls, trust me, and stay strong.